and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to the laboratory of the Arcane Lich, so I call myself and whatnot. But anyway, today I decided I'm going to do a gear review on the Marshall amp that is behind me. It is a Marshall DSL20, a 20 watt amp, but it's really badass and I love it. The speaker cabinet is a 2x12 vertical extended Marshall cabinet. And today I will be demoing this amp for a metal type use, because most of the amp and gear reviews I see and whatnot for YouTube and the internet, well, they don't really utilize the amp in a different type of metal way that I would. So I feel like, you know, this review can be useful and whatnot for those out there that are interested in it. And I'm sorry, I can't get this right. This camera's really f***ing with me. But this amp right here, so for anybody that's interested in this amp for, you know, like a metal purpose and whatnot, and you feel like that it doesn't have enough gain or something for you, we are going to fix that today. Absolutely. So, let's get started. First off, this is a Marshall DSL20HR. It is a 20 watt amp, but do not let that fool you. For a 20 watt amp, it is a beast. It has full size tubes within it. One input, you have reverb, resonance, presence, bass, middle, treble, volume, and gain, and those are on both channels. You have a volume and a gain on both channels, clean and distorted, or lead, whatever you want to call it. So you have a lot of different knobs here for equalization, and you also have a tone shift knob that I utilize all the time for what I do. So let's get into it. And also, the microphone that I'm using today is a Audio Technica brand, and everything that I will be doing here will be done through Reaper DAW and recorded through my Scalette 4x4 audio interface. I also may move the microphone that I have around in the room a little bit to try to like give you a different idea of what it could sound like in the room. But yeah, so we're just going to move on a little bit forward with this. So yeah, Marshall DSL20HR review. And once again, the cabinet we're using is a 2x12 vertical extended Marshall cabinet. And also, I will not be using any type of pedals for this. No pedals. This will be just me plugged straight into the amp with nothing else, and that is how we will be the sound here today. So, just give me 1 second. I'm going to straighten up things a little bit, move this chair, and then I'm going to grab this guitar, and we're going to review this amp a little bit. So, 1 second. We must remove the jacket at this point. And also, for any of you out there that don't really have much experience with a tube amp, if you've never bought a tube amp before, if you've never played on a tube amp before, you do not just start plugging in and playing. When you turn on a tube amp, you want it to warm up for at least 10-15 minutes or so. Some people say it's fine within 5 to 10 minutes, but I like to be extra safe and give it that 10 to 15 minute mark. That way you know all your tubes are good, and they should be warm by that point for you to shred or do whatever you want. But yeah, I feel like the 10 to 15 minute mark is safer. So yeah, there's that. And I don't know if the microphone where I have it right now is actually going to be able to pick up the sound all that well. But like I said, I'm going to move it around here and there and try to demo the sound a little better. But now I don't have proper mic stands or anything like that, so there's that. But yeah, anyway. Alrighty, so we're directly plugging into the amp now. no pedals, nothing else in between. And for those interested, I play on a left-handed diamond, sorry, I have a stuttering problem. I play on a left-handed Damien Platinum Schecter with active EMGs. It's a Damien Platinum 6, I think, because I think that's what they call the 6-string Damien Platinum. And it's a part of the Diamond series. I love this thing. But anyway, let's get to the amp. Alright, we're going to crank the gain up. I'm turning that thing all the way up. Alright? And now also, before I go too far into this amp also has a low and high power. So when you hit it on high, you've got your 20 watts. But when you hit the low power switch, you're on 10 watts. So if you want less power, you want to be a little quieter or something, you can always hit that 10 watt switch instead. But for right now, I'm on the 20 watt output, so full power. Of course, we're gonna crank it a little bit. That's not bad at all. I'm telling you, this little 20 watt amp is killer for what it can do. Now, the secret to getting some of the tone like I have it here, some of it does come from the active EMGs, but the tone shift knob on this amp is where the secret lies to the metal. And what I like to do is, because this tone shift knob actually, it's more like a mid scoop, it actually cuts a little bit too much of the mid out. And that's something I actually learned from Ola England. So to make up for it, I boost the hell out of the mids on this thing. So I'll take the mid knob, right, and I'll crank it back up after I hit that tone shift. But that tone shift, so, you know, but that tone shift is really what makes this amp so killer. So just because this is a little 20 watt amp, like, do not underestimate it. So like I said, you know, like, partly to do with the tone here is to do partly with these active EMGs, but another part is that tone shift knob, boosting the mids back up. And what I like to do is I like to cut some of the bass out, right? Hit that tone shift, boost the mids back up to where they're right, and then give your treble a boost too. And it just overall, it sounds better in my opinion. And you know, one second. hit one of these real quick. So yeah, as you can see, this amp with no pedals or anything else, it perfectly has the every capability of being metal, doing whatever the hell you want. You can also get, you know, a decent jazz and blues tone and whatnot out of this thing if you actually turn the gain and down. But I'm using it for metal, so you know, I'm not about to do that. But yeah, so this thing is wicked, man. It really is. It's a wicked amp setup. And one secret to this thing, you plug in a tube screamer and it just wails like hell. A tube screamer gives you more headroom on this thing and it's f***ing awesome. But I'm going to change the microphone around a little bit and see how it, you know, trying to demo the sound a little bit that way too. So one second. As you can see, officially I have moved the microphone to a different position. I'm hanging it off my ceiling fan as a ceiling mic. My camera sucks, so I can't get all this like perfectly, but I just want you to see here. And I'm just gonna let it hang and just demo the sound and try to capture it, you know, in the room with the ceiling mic. And you can kind of see how it sounds that way. So now I'm going to demo low power mode a little bit. I'm going to switch over to the 10 volt side. Alright, excuse me, the 10 watt side, which is the low output. And mind you, also, I forgot to mention, the high and low power switch we have here in the middle also acts as a safety switch, which basically is like a mute, you know, and for if you need to take a break for a second, or if you actually have to work on the amp while it's on, that's pretty much what that safety switch is for. But anyway, let's switch over to the 10 watts. Alright, crank it back up. And now, honestly, I'm playing a little sloppy because I didn't warm up or practice or any of that shit before I started doing this. I kind of just like got up today, took a shower, put some clothes on, and then I was like, well, I'm going to do this review today. So, yeah, there's that. So, that's why my playing's a little bit sloppy. But, doesn't matter. So, that's the 10 output setting. And as you can see, you don't really lose that much tone coming from 20 watts to 10 watts. And I find that that is something amazing with this amp. Even on the 10 watt setting, you have a great tone. And if you really do need a little bit more oomph on that 10 watt setting, literally just take you a tube screamer pedal such as this. I'm telling you, a tube screamer pedal with this amp is like a perfect match made in heaven or whatever the hell you want to call it. But it is literally a perfect match. You cannot go wrong. So yeah, but I really love this amp, and it's freaking killer. So if you're interested in a good, amp for whatever, for metal and whatnot, well, this is definitely one. However, I will say, there is a lot of other routes you can go. You can get a bunch of good amp simulator technology and whatnot, but if you just want something just to play on, shred on, you want something for live gigs too, you can hook this thing up to a PA system, and it sounds great for a live gig. Like I said, it's a vertical extended Marshall cabinet. You can actually get this amp and this cabinet bundled together from like Sweetwater or something like that. That's where I got mine from. However, I've had this set up for a couple years now, so I'm not so sure it will be the same price as when I actually bought it. But either way, you can get these two bundled together through Sweetwater, this amp head with this speaker cabinet. And it's a great combo, honestly. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love playing on it. I love all the tones and shit you can get out of this thing. It's amazing. And you know what? Let's try to demo the clean channel just a little bit. I don't really do much clean stuff, but we'll try to demo that just a little bit. On the clean channel, if you get a little bit too happy with the gain, you'll start getting what's called like a crunch type noise, which is perfectly fine if that's what you're going for. But if you want like a cleaner type tone, you want to leave that gain knob down really low and just kind of crank your volume up just a little bit. And then, it also depends on what kind of pickup you're using. Like if you're using your neck pickup, you're going to have a little bit more of that bassy sound. But if you use your bridge or lead pickup, it takes some of that out. So if you're using like a neck pick or something, neck pickup, it may give you a little bit more of a crunchy sound, but that's fine. Alright, so there's kind of just a little demo of the clean channel. And it sounds great, honestly. Marshalls are known for great clean tones and whatnot, too. But, yeah, either channel works great. And honestly, like I've said before, if you don't like the distortion that actually does come out of this amp, you can do what's called like a pedal chain on your clean channel and make your own distortion sound. But honestly, I think anybody that has this amp, you are not going to be disappointed with the sounds that come out of it, because I love it. I think it's a great amp, honestly. This thing is killer to only be 20 watts. Like, it really is. Alright, so I'm going to change the microphone position up a little bit. I'm going to take it from the ceiling. And I'm going to end this demo review with just a different mic placement. So yeah, let me do that real quick. Checking. So yeah, this I love this amp. It's killer. I'm gonna end this review and whatnot now. I know it's probably not the best on the internet, but I probably could have done better explaining some things. But you know, it is what it is. This amp is killer. It's a great middle amp. If you're interested in one, it's the Marshall DSL20, and the cabinet is the 2x12 vertical extended Marshall cabinet. And like I said, you can get both of these bundled through Sweetwater together. So, yeah, if you're interested in an amp or some later on in life or whatever, this little 20-watt thing right here is a beast. And I highly recommend it to anyone. So, yeah, there's that. If you're someone that enjoys what I do, thank you very much. If you're someone that has just found my content and whatnot that I make, welcome and thank you very much as well. Anyway, sincerely, from yours truly, the Arcane Lich. I hope you all take care and have fun. So, see you later.